Hello everybody, huge updates today on the second stimulus checks and the second stimulus package. Congress is set to vote on stimulus checks in the next 48 hours, and we have estimated payment dates as well. Let's discuss the details in this video. We're also going to cover unemployment, stimulus for those on Social Security, and a quick update on today's front page news as well. Do you think Congress should stop getting paychecks until they approve stimulus checks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrew, and thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Don't forget to like this video if you like this content and subscribe. I'll be posting updates almost daily. Okay, we're going to discuss stimulus checks in just 2 minutes, but first we're going to cover a quick update on front page news. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Webull. They are one of the fastest growing and most trusted stock brokerages in the world, and in a time when we all need the money more than ever, they have partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers, valued up to $1,600. It's completely free and takes 2 minutes. All you need to do is open an account using my link. The link is in the description of this video, just below the like button. You are free to sell the stocks and use the money immediately, or hold on to the stocks and start building your wealth. Just make sure to complete the process fully to get your free stocks. You won't get the stocks if you don't completely open your account. Okay, let's jump right into a quick overview of front page news, and then we'll get right into stimulus. And as always, I like to be unbiased on this channel, so I'm going to show you what both CNN and Fox News are saying. Front page CNN, Biden is expected to get the vaccine early next week, and top officials like Trump and Mike Pence also are expected to cut in line in front of everybody else and get this vaccine. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think it's okay for top officials to get the vaccine first, or do you think it's more of a sign of privilege? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Biden himself said he does not want to cut in front of everybody else, but he knows a lot of people do not want to get the vaccine, and he is going to get it live on TV to encourage others to get it as well. So basically doing it as a public service announcement to help promote people getting this vaccine. However, Trump himself is not expected to get the vaccine right away. Now, this is not because he doesn't want the vaccine, but doctors are telling him that he does not need it yet because he just had the illness and he was infused with antibodies to protect him from the illness when he got sick. Now, those antibodies that he received will protect him for a while. They're not sure how long it will last, but basically doctors are telling him he does not need to immediately get the vaccine. He's expected to get it sometime in the next few weeks. However, those around Trump, including Vice President Mike Pence, are expected to get the vaccine this week, and Pence is even scheduled to be on TV Friday to get the vaccine as well, to promote it to others to also get the vaccine. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Will you get the vaccine as soon as you can, or are you still feeling nervous about the safety? And seeing Trump and Biden get the vaccine, will that convince you to do it as well if you're on the fence? Let me know your thoughts. Okay guys, front page Fox News. Healthcare worker suffers allergic reaction after COVID-19 vaccine. This has been a really rare instance, but there have been a few people who have suffered a severe allergic reaction. I know that's really scary, especially with this new vaccine that was rushed and came out really quickly. In the UK, a couple of people had an allergic reaction, which was very severe and put them in the emergency room. However, these people had a history of severe allergic reactions. This woman had no history of any allergic reaction. That is troubling because in the UK they said, you know what? These people had a history of strong allergic reactions. So now we're recommending, hey, if you have a history of strong allergic reactions, for now, just do not get the vaccine. This is even worse because this person does not even have that history. So now what do we do? Well, this is part of the natural rollout process for a new medication or a new vaccine. They will continue to monitor how often these things happen in the general public, but we have to admit, there is room for concern here. Some people will have these strong reactions, and she is okay. It is said that the woman is stable and will be released later this day. So as the rollout of this vaccine continues, we should have more data and more updates on exactly how safe this vaccine is. Okay guys, let's jump right into stimulus checks. We'll talk about the vote that should be happening soon, as well as estimated payment dates for when you should be receiving your stimulus checks. We'll also cover stimulus for those on Social Security, and of course the unemployment boost, as well as Joe Biden's plans for a bigger stimulus as soon as he's inaugurated. Okay, let's cover the best case scenario. Best case scenario, stimulus checks are approved at the end of this week. Let's see when you would actually receive your check if that is accomplished. Well, If the check is approved either the 18th, which is this Friday tomorrow, or early next week, the president would have to sign it, of course, and then the first people to receive their checks would be those who have direct deposit. Those would be people who already received direct deposit on the first check. Now, in that case, you would receive your check on the week of January 4th. So that first week of January. So you're seeing, even if a check is approved tomorrow, it's going to take over 2 weeks to receive these checks. And that is for people who have direct deposit. Now, if you're getting paper checks, that would be the following week, the week of January 11th, which is 3.5 weeks from now, okay? And then if you're getting those debit cards, those EIP cards, it would be even later, February 8th. These are the expected payment dates if the checks were approved this week. So obviously, we would not receive these stimulus checks before Christmas, guys. That is so frustrating. After everything we've been through, the least we could do is have these stimulus checks before the holiday. But let's get into the next scenario. This is the scenario we don't want, okay? And this is where we don't get stimulus checks approved until Biden is inaugurated. Now, that would be early February at the soonest. And if stimulus checks were approved by Biden in early February, it would take about a week for people to receive their direct deposit payments, about February 8th, another week for people to receive their paper checks, and then about another month for people to receive their prepaid debit cards. So as you see, it would be a little bit faster because in the current scenario, it would take 2 to 3 weeks to receive your direct deposit. In February, it would only take about a week. That is because we are in the middle of the holidays. Things are a lot slower, obviously. But these are the estimated payment dates, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Congress should approve stimulus checks now? Of course, I think we need it. But let's talk about where negotiations stand today and what's holding up the actual stimulus checks being approved. Well, as you know, we are closer to a deal than ever. So what brought us here? What brought us closer to a deal, but what is stopping the deal from actually occurring? Well, the presidential election being done, that is one thing that has brought us closer to a deal. Because as you know, Pelosi was holding out. Pelosi did not want stimulus checks to be approved because that would help President Trump win the election. Of course, that's over. That has helped greatly. Another thing that's helped greatly is that Democrats believe that even if they do a small package now, Biden will approve a larger package once he's inaugurated. Guys, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you trust this? Do you trust Biden to approve a larger stimulus package? Or do you think if we get this small package, that will be the last package we ever get? Personally, I want to believe Biden, but I'm skeptical, okay? Because if all we get is $600 stimulus checks, it's simply not enough, okay? But that has brought us closer to a deal. Pelosi is willing to compromise on a smaller deal because she believes Biden will approve a larger package next year. Now, what is stopping the deal from actually being closed? Well, two things. The Georgia Senate elections are set to be held on January 5th, and Mitch McConnell is on record as saying that Republican senators are being slammed for not approving stimulus, and it is hurting their election hopes. And Pelosi might be holding off on approving a package until after that election in order to try and win those seats, because if Democrats win both of those Senate seats, they will effectively control the Senate. They already control the House, and of course they would control the White House once Biden is inaugurated. Now, another thing that's preventing stimulus is the details, guys. We still don't have the actual written bill, okay? They're still negotiating those details. And one thing that Republicans are upset about is that Democrats are supposedly still trying to include some money for state and local governments, almost through a backdoor funding through FEMA. Now, obviously, Republicans are not going to go for this. They're still hammering out the details. Not only that, unemployment is still up in the air as well. Now, as you know, the original bipartisan framework said we're going to give $300 a week for those on unemployment for 16 weeks. Well, Republicans want to lower that to 12 weeks, and just this morning it's reported that they want to lower that to even less, to 10 weeks. It's unclear if Democrats would be willing to do so, but obviously unemployment has been a point of contention for this bill for a long time, and that is potentially an issue. So again, state funding keeps creeping up, and the amount of unemployment help is also becoming an issue. Another thing, it is reported that Republicans want to exclude those from unemployment who get stimulus checks. So basically, it would be one or the other. You could not double dip and get both. So if you're on unemployment, you'll receive that boost, but you won't receive stimulus checks. Guys, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that's okay? Personally, I think, you know what? The American people have been through so much, and those unemployed are the hardest hit. So of course, they should receive both. Just my thoughts, guys. But let's look at the framework, because the actual bill has not been written, and the last written details we have was from December 14th, and this was the bipartisan framework, which is what Congress is currently operating off of. Again, they wanted to include a 16-week unemployment boost. This is now currently going to be about 10 to 12 weeks, depending on what Democrats approve. Money for small businesses, that was originally supposed to be $300 billion. It is expected to be a little bit more, around $330, $350. They still want to include money for rental assistance, as well as an eviction freeze, a mortgage payment freeze, and a student loan payment freeze. Now, all this is still up in the air, guys. We should have a vote in the next 48 hours, so don't forget to subscribe. But quickly, as Biden continues to promise a larger stimulus package, let's take a look and see what he's promising and see what that package could include. Well, of course, he wants to include a larger unemployment boost. He has said to push a $600 per week unemployment boost until the pandemic is over. And of course, experts do not think this pandemic will be over until the end of 2021 at the soonest. He also wants to include something very interesting that is called a work-sharing unemployment insurance. And this specifically helps people who are still working but are underemployed. So if you work at a restaurant and your shifts have been cut from 40 hours a week to 20 hours a week, you could continue to work and then gain some unemployment pay to help fill that gap. Now, this is really good news, guys, because a lot of people have been hit hard but are still working. And honestly, those are some of the unsung heroes, people who are working throughout this pandemic, do not qualify for unemployment, but are not making enough, are not making as much as they used to. Now, let's take a look at what it takes to qualify for this. Specifically, this is for one state, California. Your pay has to be reduced by 10%. So even if you only took a 10% pay cut, you would most likely qualify for this work-share unemployment that Biden wants to include. This is a really big deal. No one's talking about this, but these are some of the hardest hit people who were barely paying their rent to begin with, and now their pay has been slashed in half, but still do not qualify for unemployment. Guys, so let me know in the comments, do you think the work-sharing unemployment insurance is a good idea? I think it would be a really, really good idea. Now, he also wants to include money for small businesses. Of course, the small package is set to include that, so he may or may not try and include that in his next package as well. He also wants to include stimulus checks. He specifically says on his website he wants to include $1,200 per person. So he said he would double down and approve another round of stimulus checks, which is really good news. For people on Social Security, he also wants to include a $200 per month stimulus bonus for those on Social Security, guys. That is really good news because people on Social Security are already on a fixed income, and this year has been a complete struggle. That would add up to $2,400 for the entire year of 2021 for those on Social Security. So let me know in the comments if you're on Social Security, if you like that idea. Personally, I think it's great. He also wants to include a minimum of a $10,000 student loan forgiveness per person. And I know a lot of people have student loans. I know people on this channel who watch my channel who have had student loans for 30 years and still haven't been able to pay them off. Guys, this would wipe out student loan debt for millions of people, okay? But this is kind of the overview of what Biden wants to include in his stimulus package, guys. Let me know in the comments if you like these ideas. We have to hold Biden accountable because he's promised for months to include a large stimulus package. And one of the reasons he won the election is because he said he would do so. He also said that he would include progressive policies in his administration. Now, Bernie Sanders, who came out and supported Biden throughout this campaign, is slamming Biden for not doing enough to amplify progressive policies. Now, as most of you know, Biden has filled his cabinet with mostly moderate individuals who would be willing to compromise with Republicans. And of course, he's doing this because he wants to bridge the gap and create an administration that is willing to compromise and not divide each other, not divide Democrats and Republicans, but bring them together. Now, of course, this is upsetting liberals. Liberals like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, they are upset that there is hardly any progressive liberals in Biden's cabinet, guys. But let me know in the comments, are you upset about that? Do you think Biden should have put more liberals in his cabinet after they all came out and supported him and helped him win this election? Or do you think it's okay to have more moderates on his cabinet to try and foster compromise and try and bridge this gap and stop this divide between Democrats and Republicans, guys? But with that being said, we will have updates daily on stimulus negotiations and as soon as a stimulus check is approved. And guys, if you made it this far into my video, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really means the world to me, and I really do appreciate every single view. My thoughts go out to each and every one of you during this hardship. I've had so many comments from people who truly deserve the help, and if you're watching this video, you're probably going through a difficult season in your life. Just know that you will get through this and you will be in a better place. Stay strong out there and keep taking steps towards a better tomorrow. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.